I was really hoping Kevin would jump up for the best intro ever. This is episode 19 of the Rick Chappell podcast, where some guy with a guitar won't shut up. Oh no, oh there we go. And we have bait for the kitten today. A tiny bit of leftover yogurt. Go for it. There we go. This is my co-host, Kevin. She's a little afraid of the yogurt still, I guess. Goodbye, Kevin. Well, there's your intro this week. Some E minor Eddie Van Halen sound-alike-ish things. Oh, how you been? That's not our usual sound. But we're not using our usual sound this week. Hello. Wow. That's so loud, I'm pretty sure you can hear it. What? Are you being murdered? That was cat for no. Anyways, welcome to episode 19 of the Rick Chappell podcast, where I hit go the second I think my cat wants to be involved. And usually that's for the best, but she's still meowing. Kevin, what? Food, water, all's good. Wow, this is not been a good start, man. She'll come back. All will be fine. And at some point she'll quiet down because she's never done this. Kevin, who's demanding to be talked about, is my 1-year-old kitten now. 1 year and a couple months. And she's insane. And she's very cute. So we try to put her on the show. This guitar that is slightly out of tune is... Oh, it's not even plugged into a tuner. Oh boy, we're in for an episode, folks. We'll fix it while we chat. Anyways. What a fail. I've never started one again, and I don't plan on doing it now. This is my Eddie Van Halen guitar. I have it plugged in to a pedal I am doing a review for. And by doing a review for, I mean tomorrow is the day. It is the all-new Universal Audio Lion 68 Super Lead Amp. It's a Marshall pedal. But it has like an Eddie Van Halen mode, so I added a Phase 90 to it. And you just want to be Eddie Van Halen. So I'm going to do my best this week. We don't have the ambience, and this is going to be a distracting episode for anybody who hates the sound of that crap. But too bad, folks. I'm going to test all 60 of you. We'll see how this one does. Oh, bring it back into the regular swing of things, man. How you guys been? We should open up the comments. That's how we usually start off. Jeez, I'm ignoring y'all. We haven't had tons this week, but I do have a couple. So, as is this thing, I'm doing them across the whole channel because I only have 2 or 3 comments this week. So that's what you get. Where are we at? I think they're all good. 5 days ago. Oh, this is on last week's podcast. This is my friend Sam from Japan, who has become a fan now. She said, "Yes, of course, I'm your fan. When your channel is very big, I will feel so proud to say I was one of the first fan. You definitely are. You get that badge. Hope to one day visit Canada, and if that happens, I will go to Long McQuaid. Bring it on. Good vibes for your channel. Sam, your fan. Devin Townsend's fan, too. That much I believe. I'm a very large Devin Townsend fan myself. So I'm sure that bleeds into many of the things I do. And hey, I've got a Devin Townsend guitar or 2 hanging behind me there. This one has nothing to do with that, though. So I'm sure he liked Eddie Van Halen. There. This pedal's pretty good at cleaning up. Some people complain that digital things can't do that. They're wrong. Anyways, next comment. This is on, my home nucleonic strapping and lad cover. That was a fucking awesome project to do, man. Part of that video is in 4K, like the bass guitar with an old work camera I had. Part of it's in 4K with a different work camera I had. Most of it's not in 4K. But yeah, that was a fun video. It just says, really cool, dude. Congrats on that. Thank you. I'm proud of how that turned out. It's heavy as shit, man. And I always have to shout out Marcel, the drummer, on that one, because that cover pretty much happened by me being like, if you can do that, I'll do it. And then he did it. And I was like, shit, guess I need to learn the guitar, bass, and mixing and vocals for that song. So I think it turned out pretty good. Oh, next one up and last one for the week is on, okay, we're talking about some Devontown stuff this week again. My Far Beyond Metal, not my video, but I've uploaded it here. It's the No Sleep Till Bedtime, which is a show they did in Australia way back in the 90s. There was supposed to be like a VHS of that never happened, but some kind soul, I think the one that shot it, has put it on YouTube, but there's no audio to it. Like there's not good audio, you know what I mean? It's the camera out of a show. But that show just happens to be the show of the Live in Australia EP they did. So I took the liberty of syncing them up. And it's fucking awesome. Because there's a little bit more to an intro speech that you don't get on the audio only version. And it all syncs up. Like for those fans that have, like myself, that have heard that album so many times, you can now see him do it. I found the video. It's funny. It has the whole bit about the furry mittens, all that fun stuff. Nobody's contacted me to take it down yet, so that's cool. I don't own any part of it. I have literally just been the guy that glued things together. I did correct the timing of the video a little bit, just because there's clearly some glitches in the old VHS, so it just didn't line up. I believe there is the ability, or technically I have the ability, I guess, and so does anybody else that knows how to do this, to do more songs. There's a couple more that line up from the audio and the video this guy has, and it's cool. It's a single angle, but I mean, a single angle with the best audio mix ever now, you know? And there we go. There's comments for the week. Bambo. Oh, I now have to talk about my goal for the channel. These are the things you're supposed to do in the first like 30 seconds. And we're shuffling it around. We're getting used to it, man. It's episode 19, but somehow we're still finding a groove. Sometimes the guitar sounds in tune. I restrung it last night, so I probably should have tuned it. It seems okay. Anyways, my goal is to, by the end of the year, hit 500 subscribers, man. Come on. We can do it. We're at 474. And I've had 24 and 28 days, which is apparently kind of on schedule for how we've been doing. So if we keep doing what we've been doing, we'll do it. Which is a confusing way to say that. But come on, I have a video almost done, but ready to go, almost, for hitting 500 subscribers. It's a cover song. It's awesome. It's really fun. It's the Cult of Personality. It's hard to play, but I did it. Woo, go Rick. Haven't sung it yet. That's the part we've been dreading. Okay, I was going to try to have the list not right in the shot, but too bad, man. Also a new camera angle, as always, but we'll talk about that later. These are my catchphrases now. Oh, I was going to explain a little bit more about the Black Lion audio pedal, but we'll get into the real gear nerding later. Next up, oh, what's happened? It's been Black Friday. That happened. It's currently Black Saturday when I'm recording this, but it'll be posted on Black Sunday. And then you get Cyber Monday, which is basically just Black Monday. What a dark weekend. Ugh. Anyways, how was my Black Friday? I didn't buy anything. Shout out to Rick. Kevin, I didn't buy anything for you either. I think she's making it sound like something's wrong, but I have been in every room of this small place before I started this. Nothing's wrong. She was just in here. There might be a small bug that she can't reach. That's likely it. But yeah, we're gonna ignore the meowing cat in the background. My Black Friday was so slow though. I work in retail. So I'm gonna play the blues and tell you about my Black Friday in retail. So Friday morning, there's nobody there. There was a homeless man up front. He wasn't there for the savings. We didn't call security, that was fine. We did get some customers eventually. We kept the lights on. But it seems to have been not just us. I think it happened to a lot of stores because it's the economy we're in, man. Forever recession. Yes, Kevin? Oh, you're here. See, you're fine. I usually have the ambient sound so I can not focus on keeping rhythm. Not them claiming to do that. But this is just such a fun sound to play, honestly. Like I put fresh strings on this guitar and everything to make that video. And the podcast came first. So we just have it all set up here. So that's why I'm refusing to change it, man. This is a podcast for the teenage fans I have of all none of you, I'm sure. But if you like shreddy guitar, this is the week for you boys. Probably boys. Oh, I did have a work experience, though. This was great. Again, neighborhood's fault, not the store's fault. Crazy man out front eating his lunch. We're like, okay, he's eating lunch. After he's done lunch, it turns into 3 crazy guys out front. I'm like, okay, well, nobody's eating, so let's not hang out. So I'm like, hey guys, you mind not hanging out here? And one of them's real mouthy and real crazy. And he's like, you were timing me eating my lunch. I'm like, no, I wasn't. It has nothing to do with that. It's just like, you guys are all hanging out here now, I can see, and I need you to not do it here. And then he was blabbering crazy stuff, so I went back inside. And then I was like, this guy, in the past, just so you know, a specific crazy man, has tried to fight people in the parking lot and all that kind of jazz. I've probably mentioned that on the podcast back when it happened, actually. The Chronicles of Crazy Red-Haired Homeless Man with Bad Teeth. And sometimes black eyes. Anyways, I went into the food place, some people call it a restaurant, that serves him his food, and I was like, hey, I really appreciate that you guys feed the homeless, because it's not just him they feed, it's tons of people they do. It's really sweet. Kevin, shut the fuck up. But I'm like, this one specific guy, man, he's trying to fight people sometimes, and he keeps threatening us. Just a heads up, man, this is getting to be a bit of a problem. And then as I was doing that, the guy who inside was very receptive. He was like, oh, which one again? I'm like, oh, the one that, red hair there. He's like, oh, point him out. So I'm like, oh, it's that guy there. And as soon as we point him out, he's like, oh, comes after me. And the guy's like, you go inside. So I go inside my store. the store, the one I work at. And the homeless guy comes in after me. He's like, you get back here, you get back here. I'm just like, nope. So I go right through to the back because that's where all my coworkers are. And I'm like, hey, assistant manager by name. I'm like, yeah, we got a problem. He's like, what? And there's two homeless guys hot footing it after me. And so I just go right to the back. And then I can just hear them being like, we want an apology. We want an apology. He's like, for what? Whoa, guys, what happened? Who's going? Slow down. Everybody relax. So they're in there for a while freaking out, talking about how they were just in jail. So like they're either not afraid to go back or just passed a law course in jail. So he knows his rights and I can't ask him to leave. I don't know, man. It was a time. Eventually they just left and have never come back. And that's my story about my block for this week. That has sadly become a feature of the podcast. I have a hope that that feature of the podcast will be lessened, but I have a feeling that the winter time will make me go out less and unfortunately make the neighborhood even worse for the times I do go out. So, woot woot. How's your guys' place of the world going, man? Is it all like this? Is everything like Los Angeles and Abbotsford, BC? Hope not. What's up next? Thanksgiving. I didn't really have one, but also here in Canada, it was actually like a month ago. But I think by my analytics, I think everybody that watches this show is either Japanese, which is Sam, Canadian, which is Nicole, and American, which is whatever audience I have accrued so far. So thanks, guys. Happy Thanksgiving. I'm a pandering motherfucker to the biggest neighbor I got. And I'm pretty sure that's what most of the YouTube algorithm kind of puts me. Because there is a whole thing in Canada here to supposedly promote Canadian content within ourselves. But I don't notice it. Because I have a Japanese fan before I have anybody who's like, I'm from Windsor. Hashtag Windsor's not real. All of Eastern Canada is a myth. Kevin. She agrees. Anyways, that's my bit on Thanksgiving. I was going to try to look up, hey, you know what? Let's learn together. Why is Canadian Thanksgiving different than American? Because frankly, I don't know. Canadian Thanksgiving takes place on the second Monday in October, while American Thanksgiving falls on the fourth Thursday of November. That was a mouthful. Canada's celebration is often credited to it getting colder the further north you go, therefore having an earlier harvest. That's this. Hello, Kevin. What? What was that? Oh, you're on the keyboard and my face apparently. Well, folks, I'm trying to talk about the most boring topic. We got the most exciting clip I've ever got on the podcast. So, hey, baby bear, what's the happen with you? What's going on? That was really cute. Do you want to go behind my head? Here, we can do this. If I kill the guitar, I think what she wants. Hopefully, she won't try to kill me. She'll just be comfy. Is this what you wanted? Cuddles? Maybe. I don't know, man. This may have been a dangerous move. Usually she's comfy like this, but this time seems to be an exception. I have a scar currently on, actually that side. Yeah, that's the side from that little thing. Doing that yesterday. I was stringing this guitar, and she actually did just that. Oh, hello. But from between my legs, right up beside my face as I was tuning. So that was a fun time. Kevin, you're kind of blocking the camera a little bit there, baby. I don't think you care though, do you? Remember, you can't step on it though. It's not that stable. It's not. It looks it, but it's not. Yeah, you can talk into it. You can purr as much as you want. It's safe for that. Well, I'm not going to apologize because anytime Kevin's on the show, it's a good time. But that derailed our learning. What's going on with you, Bear? You're being just nuts. Just nuts. We put everything on pause for Kevin. Right? That's the rules of the internet. Kitten's rule. That's the internet. What's up next? Okay, I was going to talk about this guitar. Oh no, okay, let's do. That was a bullshit answer for Thanksgiving, by the way. Bullshit global news. Oh, I forgot we can't look up news in Canada. Thanks Google. Thanks Trudeau. Thanks Canada. Anyways, okay, the biggest difference is, I know the big one. It's the fact that it's in the fucking other month. What is it? I need a Googler. I need a Nadav. Canada Thanksgiving meal is different. I don't care. What? Why? I guess it's just because it's so cold here. I live 5 minutes from the border. It's not 1 month behind, but whoopee. There we go. That was a somewhat bullshit answer. I'm sorry I put us through it, but I'm glad we got the Kevin bit. That's my clip of the week for sure. Okay, next up is the guitar. So let's keep doing the thing we were doing, but now in the key of B minor instead of A. This is a, what year again? 2020? 2021. So fairly new. EVH Franky. That's pretty much all they call it. And they're amazing. They're mass produced. That's fine. They deserve to be. The world went crazy for these before Eddie died, and then the world stayed insane for them, unfortunately, of course, after he passed. But not only is it cool to look at, these are a great playing guitar. Like, I really like it. I've also, since I work at the store, obviously, I had the opportunity to try, and it's even actually on this podcast, the white version as well, the Eruption model from 1978-esque era. This is more 1984, 1982, I guess. I don't know. I'm not that much of an expert. But you know what this looks like. It looks like Eddie Van Halen, for God's sakes. But there is obviously a white version as well. It's really good. But this is the one for me by far. You know, if I had infinite money, I'd have both, of course. But I don't, and I won't. So what have I done to this thing? I added the reflectors, because you need to add reflectors if you're going to have one of these. I burnt it with a lighter at one point and cigarettes with a point. Like, it's just been, you know, for the aging effect. Me and my coworker did it in a couple spots. And then we lit it on fire once, which kind of wasn't what we were going for. But it happened, and it's there. One thing that happens with these guitars, not a warning, just a fact, some of the shellac that they put on the back of the neck sort of wears off in a little bit. You can see that the back of the headstock is this kind of aged dark brown, and then right around there, so mine is, you know, first fret, second fret area, it gets a lot lighter. Didn't always do that, because you can see by the neck, it's also still a little bit darker there. So time has aged that a little bit. Possibly more time will immediately reverse that. That would be sort of my guess, because funny enough, it's still darkest by the edges. So in my actual high wear spots, I can see I'm closer to the wood, but it's still, I don't know, it's still wearing in a way that is unique and cool, and not just like paint is coming off or something lame. I did have an actual like modification done to this guitar at one point. I had a push pot installed so I could turn on this single coil neck pickup, but it didn't sound very good. I could fix that probably by raising it a bunch, but I didn't want to do that, so I just put the old volume knob back in it. But the soldering job on it is one of the worst things you've ever seen. So it makes some noise sometimes, and I'm embarrassed by it, but not too embarrassed to not fix it. So I don't know if that made any sense, but things I do have left to do to this guitar, though, technically, if I want to full on Eddie Van Halen it up. Oh, I also put in eye bolts for the strap, and then I put in the eye bolts before I really had a plan for a strap. And then, because guitar straps don't come with, you know, these clamps or whatever you want to call them to use eye bolts. So I was kind of throwing out the idea of buying the EVH strap, but it's expensive. And I was like, it's just a strap. And then I found this strap from a bag I have that kind of works. Like it's got the things on it and it's pretty much the right length. And it even has a little shoulder bit. So it looks kind of Beatle-esque. But that's the strap I have for mine. Because it is nice to have a strap to be able to stand up and get your Eddie Van Halen on, you know? Okay, I have the sound. I may as well do it. That was piss poor, I know, but you got to do it. Okay, that's like the main thing you do every time you pick up this guitar. Or, as I've been told on the internet, and they weren't wrong, you go. Point being, it's a fun guitar. I can only play so much of Panama without getting sued. And that was already way too much. I'm not gonna get sued. You know what I mean? The demonetization thing. Not that that counts, because I'm in no way monetized. So just keep going. That's all of Panama I know anyways. What other Van Halen riffs can I give you while I'm not of the monetized level? My favorite one usually. That's all I really know of that song. I just know little bits and pieces, honestly. Contrary to owning the thing and having the sound all dialed up here. I don't own these things, right? And I do have this. I love it. But I'm not the world's biggest Van Halen fan. I will never try to achieve that title. I really like Van Halen a lot. But I'm reserved to, you know, David Lee Roth albums and very specific little things I heard growing up, right? But what else? Oh, there's a million. That's all you need to hear of that one, though, honestly. It's pretty simple there. Van Halen lick number 1 billion. What do we got? I did Panama. I don't know 1 million, so again, it's not endless, my knowledge. And the internet is mean if you get these wrong. I know there's more. Oh, how could I forget? You dedicate it to, that one little lady. However you want to play it. Ice Cream Man, what a classic. You know what? I'm going to cheat. I'm going to look at the Van Halen songs I have in my catalog of iTunes. Van Halen. Panama, Ain't Talking About Love. Okay, now there's a bunch of songs that I don't know how to play. Hey, Kev. Beautiful Girl, Dancing in the Street. Bunch of great songs. Okay, what are the ones I know? Because I know there's got to be one I'm forgetting. Oh, sure. Sorry if it's not good. Not giving myself an A on that one. Oh, I used to know. No, I'm not going to try Jamie's Crying. It's been too long. I forgot it. I'm sorry, Rick. Past Rick, that is, who tried so hard to learn that. And I did. I promise. I don't know how to play Jump. I don't know how to play any of those ones. Okay, I think that was my... Oh, I can do a version that's not good, but... There's something like that. That's as far as we go. Panama all over again. We're at the halfway point, and I'm getting to that point where I really have to sneeze. So I'm going to exercise my ability to show you a little preview of the next record. You've already heard this before, funny enough, if you've actually been a listener or a viewer for 19 episodes now. But this is officially, I'll tell you, this is a song on the next album. It has vocals and stuff, you know, by the time you'll hear it then. But it's also my hold screen. So I'll be back after I go blow my nose and check out a little preview of my next album. We'll talk about when I get back. Hold screen, where did you go? Bye-bye. And welcome back. I think we're going to ditch the guitar a little bit more for the second half of this week's show. While I drink some more water here. Because we're going to talk about the next record and then the records after that. Because I think I'm formulating a small empire of a plan here. Wow, that's noisy. Going to try not to do that again. I feel like there's something in my eyeball. Anyways, the song you just heard during my little hold screen thing there is a song that I wrote pre-pandemic, actually, like probably 2019, maybe 2018. I think 2019. Initially, I mean, it has lyrics. There will be lyrics on it when you hear it. I didn't write it to put it out there at all. I wrote it, you know, this is back before my last album, Black Tie Affair, was ever out. So it's just this little side thing I wrote. I watched La La Land, the musical, and was just moved beyond words, man. That movie is so good. And it's done so well in a style that I don't want to say is lost, but isn't as often exercised as it used to be. And by that I mean like hyper professional Hollywood. Like when you cast the two best looking, best people, best actors possible, who are the most talented vocal, like they're the perfect people for it. You put the best lighting crew. Like, I mean, every level of that thing, I bet the catering was delicious. Like, it was a proper Hollywood level blockbuster musical. And it floored me. And it was all about jazz, which I hadn't. Also, I should mention that when I clicked on it, I didn't know anything about it. I hadn't heard about how it had won things or anything or not. Like, I don't know. I live under a rock sometimes. So I went in blind, not even knowing it was a musical. And then it just hook, line, and sinker to me. So when I was done the movie, I was just like, can't stop thinking about jazzy things. So I wrote that song. I jokingly titled it Jazzy Yazzy. And everybody I've showed it to in the past 3 or 4 or 5 years now, I guess, has loved it. So initially, I never planned on putting it on a CD or putting it out there or anything. But I think it's a good song, and so does everybody else, it seems. So, hey, it's like smack dab in the middle of the album. It's not a bonus thing. It's nothing weird. It's just weird. And I love it. There's a lot of songs like that on this upcoming record. I've talked about it a million times. This upcoming record's called Outlier. I'm going to be done it by the end of the year. It will be out early next year. That is what it's looking like, and I'm super excited for that. And yeah, where am I at with that? I still need to finish up a little bit of synthesizer stuff and sing it. But I have decided to get all the vocals done in December. So for better or worse, that's how it's going to happen. Woot. Maybe I can get an early start next week. It sneaks up on you, man. It really does. You take a week off, and it turns into a month. Turns into a summer, turns into a year. No, I'm kidding. It wasn't that bad. We've gotten a lot done. We have plunked right through, and it's just the vocals. You always, or at least I, always dread doing those final vocals because you're like, okay, by doing them, you're saying you can't do any better. Is what that's essentially what's happening. So if you think you can do it better, keep trying, but you have to know when to say when, and then commit to how you want to say words and what the words are. That's kind of a big part of music, obviously. That's the bow, not the bow even. That's the, let's get a good analogy going. For me, I have built a box, and I've even wrapped it pretty good. But this is a really good present I'm working on. So I've done like the nice wrapping thing. I think it's called, I don't know. It's not tinsel. It's fucking the ribbon. A ribbon. Vocals are the ribbon, is what I'm trying to say. Vocals are the ribbon on this gift of an album I'm making for you in this analogy. So I need to finish the wrapping paper of synthesizers because the drums, bass, and guitar were the box. That was the essential foundation. Present inside. You can guess what it is. It's an album. But in this metaphor, yeah, drums, bass, guitar are all the box. And then there's like violins and stuff kind of tape in the corner together. And then, the vocals will be the ribbon. And then the mix is the bow, because I'm going to do a good job mixing it myself. As I knock on cheap wood while I try to cheaply mix it by myself. The last album, Black Tie Affair, there's times I'm proud of the mix, and there's times I'm not. It basically mostly comes down to the mastering and sort of some mistakes I made in the final bounces of stuff and whatnot. It still sounds really good. Not many people have noticed these things. Some people do, some people don't. I have a plan and a version of it that's a little better. That will be the next round of CDs. So if you care, you can always buy that album and it'll be better. So there you go. It also includes a bonus song and a little bit of extra stuff. So, hey, growth. But I will make CDs of Outlier next year. I need to blow my nose again. I'm just going to do it gross while we're talking, okay? That's where we're at now in our friendship. I feel comfortable blowing my nose in front of you. You're a human. We're all humans. The winter. The winter causes this, I would swear. But what has been boiling to the surface lately has been ideas for the next record. And by that, I have hinted before that I want to do a really heavy metal project. And I do. I have a thing mapped out. There's a couple guitars back there that are spec'd up for the chug-a-chug heavy metal stuff. And that's what my good old trusty I'm in the way. Oh, no, I'm not. Mesa Boogie back there is for it. It's the heavy metal rig I've dreamed of. It sounds great, and I've written a bunch of heavy metal songs for that. That is, well, I'll tell you about it. I don't know if it's the next record. There's two we're going to talk about. Two sort of overarching ideas and sort of directions I've even built up the studio with gear acquisitions in the past couple of years. All planning more music. All the metal stuff is written so far under the guise of the name Silvertree, which I think is going to be the name of the record. I had an idea to make it like a strapping young lad-esque, like, oh, that's the name of the band, and then I'll do a record with that. Like, that's my heavy metal name. But I don't know how many of them I'll do. So even if I just do the one, I'll just call it Silvertree by Rick Chappell, and there we go. It's brutal. Like 7-string low chug-a-chug and a lot of screaming from this guy. And all the drums are programmed, of course, like everything else I've done. But it's like more double bassy, blast beat, kind of strapping and lad-esque in some moments, you know. Brutal songs. And I'm so excited to do it. And I'm really proud of what it is so far. Like I've done, it's up to like a full mix of the first song, and then it kind of, the last song is half written. You know, like that's, it's 10 songs, and that's where they're at. But I just so seldom open them. Like I haven't opened them this year. I'll say that much for sure. I've been working on this album. And it's good. And every time I get a new metal idea, I'll put it in that folder. So there is maybe some bonus stuff or some stuff for a follow-up album of that style boiling to the surface too. I have ideas for a name for that and stuff too, but I even have artwork for Silvertree, like pretty much in the can and ready to go. So I'm excited for that one, but dreading it because it's so hard. Like the precision I need in my guitar playing and in my vocal belches or whatever you want to call them. It's just a lot of intense music. So it's intense to make. The next album we're going to talk about, or next idea I have that is probably going to be an album currently is titled Visitors. I have a little temporary track list I can tell you about. Well, no, I can't, but I can at least, you know, tell you what it sort of is. Even though that's not it. That's the wrong note. Show me the right note. There we go. It's a bunch of like electro stuff. So not that electro. It's not electro, but it's synthesizers and light guitars and not a lot of heavy metal, you know, esque things. And I've written a bunch of songs that have been like that in the past, well, I don't know, decade or so, but really in the past, how new are a bunch of these? There's probably 5 in the past year, and then, no, past 2 years. And then the rest of them are a span of time. And they all are starting to go together too. There's some old ideas I have that I want to see if I can re-record and make really good, and they might fit. If they don't, I think I already have enough ideas, but inevitably when I try to remake my old idea, if it sucks, I'll just make something else. And then, hey, that's a song that could potentially go on this thing too. I write a lot of songs when I'm writing lots of songs. That's the best and worst way to put it. For me, it's not easy, but it's not that hard, honestly, either. Like, I can crap out a bad one almost any day. And because of that, I have lazily probably just tried to not write bad ones by not doing it every day, which isn't how it works. You're supposed to write every day, and then that's how you write great ones some days. I go in bursts where in a 3-month period, maybe 3-4 months, somewhere around there, I'll write one a week, maybe. And then in doing, I mean, that's a fair amount. That's at least 10, 10 of those will be not embarrassing. So in a season or two, I can come up with a new idea. So who knows? Maybe it'll be a whole nother thing by the time it actually comes out, because we're talking a year or 2 years away, because my goal is to do one a year. I think that's a healthy workflow to go at while I can still, I don't know, try to have goals in life. Or not goals in life. My goal in life is to make music. But one a year is a good time to still, like, I don't know, make time to eat dinner every night and take care of the kitty cats and not go too nutty. Maybe form a relationship or two. That'd be fun. Moving on. Anyways, that's the next 2 albums I have planned out, and I will share. I think when Outlier comes out, I'll have one song from each project, like in the next 2 directions, ready to go to. So I'll find a way to put them out maybe a month or 2 after, or maybe at the end of the year next year. I don't know. I'll give a teaser for side A and side B of these 2 ideas boiling to the surface, because I could probably share a song or 2 songs from each project at this point. Like they're pretty good, but you're making you wait so I can build a manageable hype train when I actually have a product to deliver, because don't promise your audience something and never deliver it. But the podcast audience, I like to think, is a long-term audience, because hey, we do this every week, kiddos. That's the fun thing. I had a story that came to mind the other day, so I figured I'd share it on here. I did a talent show in high school, did a bunch of them, where I would play guitar, obviously, duh. Sometimes I would sing or whatever, but one of them wasn't so much a talent show, it was a stand-up comedy challenge or show. It was a contest, essentially, honestly, at the end of the day. Somebody won. And it was this guy. So that story that's basically it right there. It was a free show because I demanded it. I was like, no, this is so amateur. We're not charging people for it. So we did this comedy show at lunchtime in the theater, not in the cafeteria or anywhere sketchy. This was condoned by the staff. This was real. It was real, damn it. And a bunch of kids did it. It was fun. Probably, I don't know, 5 or 6. Kevin, be quiet. But the only 2 I remember are me and my buddy Zach, who did like a full skit involving some pies to the face and whatnot. I don't know. He put in effort, man. It was great. This guy stayed up until like 3 a.m. the night before with a notebook, watching a bunch of comedy specials. So I stole a bunch of bits. Kevin, please don't. From like Robin Williams and Russell Brand and like not Russell Peters. I didn't do any racial stuff, but a bunch of little things I stole. Kevin, shut up. And but the payoff, at least for all of it, was I closed on my bit. So it was a free high school show, so I figure it's okay that I stole some ideas there. And I told them my way, maybe. I don't know. Kevin, shut up. I just stole some punchlines and stuff. But the bit I closed on, which was my bit, was basically I just told an internet video story. Like of the story of a guy falling down some stairs that I had just basically gone viral. And I am old enough, sadly, to say that going viral wasn't something that happened every hour. It happened every couple months, maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's Canada. Maybe it's because it was the 2010s. But yeah, some people think I'm old. So there you go. It I got away with it because I literally, like, a friend of mine sent me the video because he had filmed it, and then it turns out it got like, I think, a couple million views on YouTube. It was a video of a guy falling down the stairs at an arena. It was while a band was sound checking. And I don't think I can be any more specific without... well, no, it's been so long. I can just say it. The bass player of the band sound checking is the one that sent me the video. Or not the bass player, rhythm guitar player. I can't remember exactly what he played at the time. He played... It's a very famous... Not that famous. Very famous Canadian band. I can't remember the name of it, so I won't spoil it that much. They sing American Woman now. I think it's Randy Bachman or whatever his band is called. And it's the bass player at the time for Randy Bachman is how the story goes. At least how I remember it. Sent me the video. And it was so good, man. It was a janitor, and he was singing, and then he went down, and he went down all the way. And I ran around and acted it out in ways that I will not currently perform for you. But it killed. And the end of the story is that after he just made it all the way to the bottom, his broom just followed him at a snail pace and crunched him. And it could have missed him. It could have had a smidge of empathy. But it didn't. Inanimate objects don't give a fuck. And it took his last bit of pride. So that was hilarious. And that's my story. And for the last 10 minutes, let's bust out the guitar again. I'm going to blow my nose yet again. One more gross thing and then some annoying shreddy guitar. How about that? Ugh. Woo. Ain't I cute? It's a fun guitar to do shit like that on. I have my own sort of tapping thing I came up with. It doesn't sound anything like Eruption, but it's a tapping pattern that I think sounds interesting and is in a key. So that'll probably be in my video tomorrow. Kevin, my video tomorrow, I'll tell you my plans now, is to do the review of this pedal. And in doing this pedal, it makes a good Eddie Van Halen sound. It literally has a mode called Brown, which is referencing his old Brown sound, what they called it. And when you put an MXR Phase 90 in front of it, it does the thing. Not to mention, this doesn't hurt. And the internet fucking loves it. The guitar, that is. Me, they're mad about still. Sounds like you. Did you pee? No, you didn't. You're just being weird. Maybe she's in heat. She's a kitten. Oh, did I break something? No, okay, like I said, the wiring of this is not Fender's fault. It's mine, because I rewired it, and then I'm not good at wiring. So that's how that goes. Kevin is getting to me again. She's starting to distract. Oh, I can play my other Van Halen lick. It's hard to do, though, when the kitten's doing that. No, clearly I'm not that good at it. Sorry. That's why I didn't play it before. That was supposed to be Dance the Night Away. Weird tapping stuff he does, man. That's why Eddie Van Halen is Eddie Van Halen. That distracted me. Oh, I was talking about my video tomorrow. In my video tomorrow, I will finally explore the other sounds this pedal makes, because it's not just about sounding just like Eddie Van Halen. It just has that ability, and it's a fun ability. And I really wanted to put that ability to the test, so I've sat with it for a couple days now. And it's one of the closest things I've ever heard. Let's put it that way. I have a tiny bit of EQ going on it now and a little bit of compression, just because that's how it is on a recording. Like, I really wanted it to be the recording sound of the Brown sound. But I'm using the reverb built into it too, because like that's a great reverb. Oh, my sweeping is sloppy today. Oh, and check out this trick I learned. I figured out how to bend this note all the way to that note. You just press really hard. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit that in my video tomorrow, so I wanted to do my video today. It's my humble brag that these fingies are good at playing guitar, I guess, man. I have played guitar for, oh God. I got that one, the one with the spirals on it, for my birthday or Christmas when I was like 11, I think 11. But I first started playing guitar when I was 9 or 8. Pretty sure I was 9. But I didn't really take it all that seriously. I don't want to say until I had that one, because that makes it sound like you need to buy fancy guitars to play guitar. You don't. Before that, I had gotten into it, and that was kind of how I earned a better one, was by putting in the time and having something terrible happen to me. So that there was some people who donated some money, essentially, to get me a present. And that present was that guitar. So thank you, people. That was very kind. I rewarded you by playing you an out-of-tune G chord with my thumb. You've also started an addiction, clearly, so you guys ruined me. That guitar back there, though, let's talk about it for a second. Because that's part of why I wanted to learn how to do this stuff I'm doing right now. Mostly pentatonic stuff, so let's keep it pentatonic. That's an Zakk Wylde signature. Oh, if I had a wah, this would be the time to use it. It's an Epiphone from like 2003, I think? 2004. Maybe my sweeping will get better if I focus more on talking. The lie detector determined that was a lie. I don't know if that's even fun to listen to as a podcast. I'm going off the rails on this crazy train this week. Ha! Ozzy reference. Zakk Wylde, who I was talking about a second ago, is a guitar player for Ozzy Osbourne, or was for many, many years, for those that don't know, obviously. He was the first concert I ever saw was Ozzy Osbourne. Zakk Wylde was playing guitar for him at the time. And seeing that dude do his solo for No More Tears, that was the moment I was like, still can't do it. That blew my mind. That blew my 8 or 7-year-old mind. So I had to learn how to play guitar. So since then, I obtained that guitar. The best story of that guitar, I'm sure I've told it on this podcast, is that I used it to enter an EMG Zakk Wylde contest, and I came 4th place in said contest. I then went to a Devin Townsend show, or a set of shows in London, and met all the band by doing like the meet and greet thing. And one of the guitar players was the guy at EMG who put on that contest. So we recognized each other, or remembered each other. And that got me backstage to meet Devin Townsend a bunch of times and form a bunch of friendships with a bunch of people on his crew that I still have to this day. So that's really fun. Me and Devin aren't friends. I don't know him. But a couple of the lighting guys or video guys, hey, we message on Facebook. We still like each other. That happened when I was in high school, though. So that is like literally over a decade ago now, I guess. Yeesh. Thanks a lot, COVID. That's why I didn't have a 10-year reunion or any of those sort of shenanigans. I hope my guitar faces aren't too shitty. I know everybody makes them. Some people love them, some people hate them. I'm trying to not make them because I'm talking instead. But I know that as soon as I'm not moving my lips to talk, I'm sure I'm being like... Because that's just the nature of my brain trying to focus on... I don't know, I'm not trying to play scales or anything. I'm not trying to play any wrong notes while I think about a key. So for now, let's do F sharp minor. We went off at the end because I don't know that one as well as A that we're in every week. And he forgives himself for not having the best musical theory best musical theory knowledge, because musical theory is not my shenanigan. I can't read the dots, man. And with that, I think we're going to end this mostly chaotic episode. Thank you for watching. That cracks our hour. This has been episode 19 of the Rick Chappell podcast. We had a great Kevin moment. That's always important. I think I have a scar to prove for it, and I can't wait to watch that one specific part back while I ignore the rest of my own blabbing. Thank you, and I will see you next week for episode 20. Maybe I have something special planned. Currently, I don't. Maybe I will.